Did you know there have been 3 Staten Islanders who received the nation's highest military honor? And while Staten Island is home to many who have fought and died under the banner of Old Glory, the island shores were home to 3 men who were honored with the nation's most prestigious military decoration, the Medal of Honor. Joseph F. Merrill Jr., a West Brighton resident, was the first Staten Islander to receive the Medal of Honor. At just 18 years old, he distinguished himself among men on April 18, 1945, near Lohe, Germany. There, his company in the 15th Infantry Regiment was pinned down by heavy machine gun fire. Of his own volition, he charged up 100 yards away, taking out enemy forces, and along the way, a sniper's bullet rendered his rifle useless. Still, that didn't deter him. He went on. He chucked 2 grenades in the first nest, went in there barehanded, recovered a pistol, eliminated any enemy survivors. From there, he began to crawl to the second nest, taking out enemy forces along the way and suffering a critical abdomen wound. In all, he took out 23 enemy forces, but at the second nest, he was killed by machine pistol fire. In February 1946, he was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor by President Harry Truman. Lieutenant Father Vincent Capodanno, also known as the Grunt Padre, was serving in the Vietnam War as a Navy chaplain alongside the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines at the time of his death on September 4, 1967. On that day, in Quang Tinh Province, the Republic of Vietnam, he had left the safety of his command post to go help his men on the front lines being overrun. There he ran about, administering last rites to the dying and aiding the wounded. Despite all the explosions and the bullets whizzing overhead, he continued about his work. At one point, an explosive mortar round ended up injuring his arm, his legs, even severing a part of his right hand. Still, that did not deter him, and he carried out with his work. Running out to aid a mortally wounded corpsman, Father Capodanno lost his life and was killed by machine gun fire. And in January 1969, he was authorized to receive the Medal of Honor by President Lyndon B. Johnson. Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis, a New York resident, knew from a young age that he wanted to serve this country as a soldier, and in the War on Terror, he cemented his legacy as a hero. On August 28, 2013, Staff Sergeant Ollis rallied with coalition forces. He had nothing more than his rifle. He met up with 2nd Lieutenant from Poland, Karol Czerpica. Together, the men went from position to position, point to point, repelling enemy forces. At one point, one of the insurgents came around wearing a suicide vest. Czerpica was rendered immobile, suffering wounds to the legs. Selflessly, Staff Sergeant Ollis stepped between the bomber and Czerpica, and while he managed to drop the insurgent, the vest still went off. Staff Sergeant Ollis lost his life and saved the lives of not just Czerpica, but the men at the base that day. He was awarded the Medal of Honor by President Donald Trump back in March. Without men like this, there wouldn't be an America 250. So let's take time to actually remember the important reason for this holiday, and that's thanking those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you.